Welcome back to another episode of the Crossover Podcast. Sorry we took a little bit of a hiatus, but we came back when it mattered most for the NBA trade deadline. And today we're here with Charlie Hitt, a little special guest for you guys. So, Charlie, what are your early thoughts on the trade deadline?
Well, I mean, this was probably the craziest trade deadline I remember. First and foremost, when you get a star like Luka Doncic being traded for another kind of all NBA caliber star like Anthony Davis, that alone would have kind of cemented this as one of those all-time trade deadlines. But then you throw in Jimmy Butler, Brandon Ingram, the Mark Williams don't connect trade. There's just so many other ones that are so interesting. DeAndre Hunter as well. They're going to have such a big impact here in Fox for the rest of the season. I mean, the NBA is not going to look the same for these last 30-something games than it was before.
Yeah,
100%. And today you saw that trade deadline end, and there were some rumors that Kevin Durant may have got traded. Obviously, he didn't after everything, but do you think that changes the Suns' locker room dynamic in any way, possibly?
Jacob?
I feel like the Suns are still going to be the team they are at the moment. I feel like they can still make the playoffs. If I'm being honest, they just gotta get the chemistry back together, and they'll be fine. Obviously, they have some injuries with Durant at the moment and Bradley Beal, but they did make a couple moves getting Cody Martin. They did trade Nurkic though.
Yeah.
No, but that was not expected.
Yeah, that was expected. But you think they got a good package back for them for Nurkic?
You go first. Yeah,
you are
As a Hornets fan, I think. All right, so the Hornets made two trades. They traded for Dalton Knecht, and then they traded for Nurkic. The package that they got, the Nurkic package, was incredible. It was Nurkic and a first rounder for Cody Martin, who, by the way, is awful. Vasila Micic, who is even worse, and then I think a second rounder. So this trade has nothing. Like the Suns didn't do anything positive with this trade. I think this was an absolute disaster of a trade for Phoenix. But they just traded for Nick Richards about a week ago from Charlotte. Nick Richards is really solid. He's going to put up 8 points, 8 rebounds a night for Phoenix. He's going to be solid for them.
See, I was kind of confused with this because initially, like you mentioned before, they got Nick Richards. Okay.
Yeah.
But in that original trade package, I think they should have just traded Nurkic back for Richards instead of doing all this extra curriculars. Because it really just didn't make sense. Like, because Cody Martin and then Micic, yeah, he's not really a line changer for me. It's not like oh my god, we got this guy. Like, so when you think about it,
they probably won't make the rotation for Phoenix, just for reference.
I think they actually might, because Phoenix's depth is horrible.
They could, yeah.
So I think that's their only possibility there. But I just want to say something. Shout out to Leon Rose. You did it. You got Jericho Sims off the team.
Yeah, I know you really wanted that one.
Shout out to you know what, man, Leon Rose. I almost shed a tear when I saw that too.
Yeah, I think after that dunk contest performance, I think everybody in New York and in the USA did want to see Jericho Sims one more time.
I can't wait to see Mac. I can't wait to see Mac one again, if I'm being honest.
No offense to Kyle Kuzma, but I think everyone in Wisconsin shed a tear once they heard that his horrible game day outfits were coming their way.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Chris Middleton,
Okay.
who's a long tenured Buck right there, which is a bad trade in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. If I'm being honest. I mean, the Wizards also got rid of Valanciunas too.
See, I think that was a steal for the Kings. I think they completely stole that trade. An easy win.
Obviously,
Jacob, I want to go back to what you said about the Middleton trade. I really like what you said. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, Kyle Kuzma, the only difference in my opinion between Kuzma and Middleton, Kuzma is slightly younger. And this season, in the past couple seasons, he's been shooting at a higher volume. Like Chris Middleton is shooting it very, very well, and he's still Chris Middleton. He has that connection with Giannis. I don't understand quite why the Bucks have wanted to
Yeah,
do this trade.
the thing also is apparently like when I was going on obviously different Twitter accounts and stuff, like people are tweeting about Giannis like wanted this, like he agreed to it. Like I was confused by that too. Why like they had
I can
Middleton.
in a way understand it though.
Yeah, I can understand like Middleton's. How old is Middleton? I mean, look it up. But
Not even the age though.
Like lower than
But the thing is, Middleton has been such a great player for them over the years. Yeah, I'm just surprised that for Kuzma it was.
He's 33.
Now hear me out, okay? With Damian Lillard,
Mhm.
Middleton's now the third scoring option, okay? His rebounding game is not the best.
Kuz?
Yeah.
Chris Middleton. He's
Oh, you're
averaging
talking about
3.7
Middleton,
rebounds a game. And then if you look at Kuzma, he's averaging 5.8 rebounds a game, and that's real. The Bucks don't need scoring right now. They need someone who can get those rebounds. And if you think about it, their new lineup of Damian Lillard, Andre Jackson Jr., Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and then you have Brook Lopez. You got some those in the paint. That's going to be troublesome for other teams to get past.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. It is a long lineup. It is a tall lineup. I think Kuzma might be. Is Kyle Kuzma a good defender?
I don't know.
Anybody know? Anybody have an opinion?
I don't really watch Kyle Kuzma's basketball.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I don't either.
I mean, he
Yeah,
averages.
yeah, I was gonna say
He averages half a steal in 0.2 blocks.
So his frame is probably better suited to defend guys like Tatum and Brown and Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby for that matter, like than Chris Middleton. I don't know. I think the Bucks are dangerously close to kind of that like middle ground that you don't want to get stuck in that like purgatory like.
I think they're there already.
Yeah.
I think them hiring Doc Rivers put him there immediately.
Yeah.
Because he can't get it done.
Kuzma's last few games, he's had 22 points in his last Wizards game against Charlotte, 31 points against the T-Wolves. The rebounding numbers aren't terrible. 4, 8, 3, 10, 6, 11, 7, 9.
No, he's a hooper. Kuzma's a hooper.
It's not terrible.
Get it done. Another
Yeah, but
player,
he's
though.
It's just, I mean, Kuz gets so much hate. It's like,
I mean, with those outfits.
you don't see a lot of good Kuzma PR. So it's, I mean, you see him get traded to the Washington Wizards, and you're like, geez, what are these guys thinking?
Yeah.
It's hard to know. The outfits.
Yeah. The tweets.
You want to talk about tweets? How about Jimmy Butler
Oh,
to the Warriors?
segue. I like that.
Andrew Wiggins back. I like this for the Heat.
I mean, the Warriors. You could also add the Warriors too, because
Let me add the Warriors paid Jimmy Butler.
yeah, I was about to say
a
that.
$21 million extension.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler is about 34, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, with Jimmy Butler, though.
Okay, but Jimmy Butler
Talk about
is not worth
story.
$60 million a year.
Oh no. Okay, so
Okay, Steph Curry.
I'm not saying he is, but I would expect him to get that much with how much people are getting paid these days.
Jimmy Butler, if you take his 2-year contract and say they did 5 years at the same rate, guys, he's making the same amount of money as Jason Tatum.
True.
If
He's
he
making
has
more annually than Tatum, by the way.
what?
I think he's making more than this season. If you put his upcoming contract into this season, he's making the most out of anyone in the league.
Like, it's insane.
What are your thoughts on that? I just want to get your thoughts on that, like briefly, quickly. More than Tatum? Do you think that's
Who did you say me or Gans?
you? Because you're a bit of a Celtics fan, right? More than Tatum?
I'm trying to be more Hornets fan, especially after the Connect trade. I'm like, I gotta go all in on Charlotte.
That's fair.
But no, for like, sorry, wait, what was your question?
Tatum, he's getting more than Tatum currently? You said that right, Kens?
Yeah, well, almost. So Tatum, I think, is 5 years for $315 million. If you extended Butler's contract out to a 5-year one, it'd be 5 years for I guess it'd be 5 years for 305 million.
305 about.
So I don't know. Jimmy Butler, sure, he's good in the playoffs. Are the Warriors going to make the playoffs?
I think.
I don't know if they will.
I think play in.
I mean,
Right now they are the 11 seed, so just missing the play in, I believe. But they're tied with the Suns and the Kings. So.
sorry, my dog's barking inside of y'all.
It's fine.
Anyways, yeah,
I mean, I would bark if I would be upset also. Not bark. I would be upset.
I would
If
I would be upset
if
if I was the
Jimmy
Warriors.
Butler was,
How about
yeah,
that?
60 mil. Yeah, that would be.
I
Not
mean,
the best.
I don't know. I think the Warriors are going to be in a really similar state as the Bucks, where they're kind of a middle ground team. They have Steph Curry. How long is Steph Curry going to be really good for? Who knows? They have Butler. They just went all in on two players that are over 33 years old, which is not necessarily a recipe to success, especially when you don't have many great young players around them.
100%.
In a gauntlet conference.
I think they should have. It all goes back to this for me, the Jordan Poole trade. I really think that was when it all went downhill.
Yeah, it's fair.
Because if you throw Jordan Poole on this team, saying you have Jimmy Butler, that's what makes us Curry, Poole, Butler, Green, and Looney. That's really good.
Yeah.
But we skimmed over it earlier. Luka for AD. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
At first, Gans, don't lie to me, thought he got hit.
I thought it was fake, but that's everyone in the world. If you thought that was real automatically, then you are just too.
I mean, that's true. Even Shams thought he got hacked.
Like, no person in their right mind would think that that's a good trade. And I still think that's a horrible trade, and that the Mavs are.
Yeah. Nico Harrison, not even the Mavs.
Need
Just
to
saying
get
Nico
investigated or
Harrison.
something.
I think it was just like my immediate reaction is kind of what everybody's saying. Like, it's just the fact that it was so out of nowhere. There wasn't even a single, like Luka Doncic. You know, the Mavs and Luka Doncic have been frustrated with each other. There was nothing.
I love you like that.
I mean, it was just crazy. And then for Anthony Davis, like there was no. We had no idea that Anthony Davis was, up for sale, although he probably wasn't until the Mavs approached him. I think the Mavs are really going to look back on this, and they're going to think, you're trading such a cornerstone, such a huge superstar for such a specific reason. I don't think it's worth it at all. I mean, I think it does, but yeah.
And I saw someone say this. I think it was Click Productions, if you know who that is. But I really think every NBA trade should be this way. It's so much better when there's no leaked information, because it's just so much more of a shock factor. Like, really, no one had expected this.
I mean, if you're talking NBA trade deadline with a friend, are you really going to say, "Oh, I think Luka's going to get traded for Anthony Davis"?
That's the point. It's so much better when it's like that. Like,
although I will say, I think the fact that this was the trade that came out of the blue, Luka for AD.
This was like the first trade of the deadline, though.
To what?
I feel like it was the first trade of the deadline.
It was, yeah. I mean, besides the Nick Richards trade, of course.
Can't forget that for Josh
Of
Okogie.
course.
Yeah.
Or Looper right there. But I want to talk about the Hawks, because you saw them trade DeAndre Hunter today.
They got a bag. I think they got a really good return for it.
They got some good pieces in Karis LeVert, but clearly they're not trying to contend right now. So, what is Trae Young's future there looking like? I saw reports saying that it's murky, and I don't know. Really, like, it's because obviously he's one of the best up-and-comer point guards in the league, 100%.
I mean, he's still got what, 3 years left on his deal.
But he could force his way out.
That's true.
If they're not going to be contending, and he could be like, send me to.
Oh, win
I don't
now
know.
team. Imagine he goes to the Knicks and he would like Kansas.
Send me to the not the Bulls. Send me to the Magic.
Like who would, I guess the Magic, like, if you think of who might want somebody like Trae Young, then that would make it more realistic. I don't like the Spurs, obviously a point guard, or like the
They
first
got Fox now.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was getting at. Is that they just got Fox, so it's like point guards that are slightly on the market may not have that many homes right now.
Agreed. Yeah. And that Fox trade though.
Yeah.
That one.
That's big time.
So I was talking to my friend. Funny story here. My friend Shane, who goes to my school, he wrote me like a while before the trade actually happened. He was like, D Fox to the Spurs. But I was like, what? Like, where do you see this? He was like, no, I'm just like, I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And he actually correctly like called it. And I think this is a great fit for De'Aaron Fox. Him and Wembanyama together, and then he can learn from Chris Paul this season. Assuming I don't think Chris Paul has many years left in him. So I agree, but I'm assuming this year closest to your last one. But I think he can evolve as a player there, and then also with Wembanyama, the pick and roll situation is about to be the most deadly in the league. And you see what Brunson and Cat can do off the pick and roll. Just imagine what Fox and Wemby could do.
That's fair.
I think everybody talks a lot about the Giannis Dame pick and roll, or they did immediately after he got traded. But this is like, I hope people aren't underestimating how insane of a duo this is. This is two of the most flashy players in the NBA for completely different reasons. You know, Fox is lightning speed, and then Wemby's the most athletically gifted, I think, talent.
He's an alien. He's a so-called alien.
Yeah, like this is it's pretty unbelievable that these two got paired together.
Diego, what do you think about that trade? Because I saw when we were talking about it, you were saying some things like, "Oh, the Kings won it first, but
I really didn't know at first, but after like. I wouldn't say the winning. I would say the winners and losers of trades don't like happen until like the trade's officially over, because like obviously we saw like players getting moved right after it, like Dennis Schroeder for example. And what deal was that? The Butler trade. He's got traded.
Butler trade the 5 team.
Yeah, he got traded like 3 times. So I mean, obviously I think the Spurs probably won that trade if I'm being honest, because De'Aaron Fox went crazy last night for them. It looks like if like he stays and like him and Wemby can grow a good connection, the Spurs can be a good team in the next couple seasons with the other young players they have.
I think the Kings lost that trade clearly.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at it now. I probably say that.
You saw DeRozan and Levine play together for the Bulls, and it didn't work out at all. So what do the Kings go out and decide to do? They're like, let's go get Levine to pair with DeRozan. As if it just didn't work out already.
There's a few teams that I'm kind of confused at what they're doing, and the Kings are really at the top of the list. They're another team like the Mavs who just traded away their young cornerstone.
The Hawks wanted out. So
That's true. Yeah.
that part.
It's just like, I mean, now they trade away Fox, trade for Levine, trade for Jonas Valanciunas.
That was a good move. He's a good.
Which is a good move. But it's like, man, you just traded for Jonas. That's a good trade. I wish I had a young point guard that can really kind of control this team. Oh shit, I just traded one away.
Now let me ask you that right here, okay? What if they got Kobe White instead of Levine? How you look at this trade?
Or Desambu too.
I don't know if AO has that much value, but Kobe White is. I think if he got traded instead of Levine here, the Kings would be definitely in a different position than they are.
It would say something about where the organization, what the organization is prioritizing, like the youth and the development of their stars, versus
even if they got Josh Giddey,
versus like I mean, they have DeRozan, Valanciunas, and Levine are kind of older stars that are head of their team right now.
So I think we should all name our 3 winners, 3 losers for the deadline. What do you guys think?
I mean, obviously we should all agree on one winner.
I think our first winner is the Lakers.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
that.
And obviously the loser could be the Mavs. Duh. Even though the Mavs are beating the Celtics by 17 at the moment.
Oh, really?
So Jacob, what are your winners and losers? Let's hear from you first.
My winners and losers. My winner obviously is the Lakers.
Okay.
My second winner. I don't know. It could be the Spurs if Fox works out in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
third winner.
The Knicks.
I was about to say that because Jericho got I feel like the DeAndre Hunter trade might be a good trade for the Cavs because they just get deeper. And a loser, the Mavs, and low-key, what are the Raptors doing again? You love talking about the Raptors sometimes. Like, I don't know what they're doing grabbing Ingram. It was a good pick, good trade for them, but aren't they trying to tank the flag?
Who's your third loser? And then I'll go into what I think about the trade. Because I have some very strong opinions about this.
Third? I don't know. Is there really a third?
You can pick a player. You can pick a player that's a loser if you want. Or a person. Nico Harrison.
And the Mavs, They deserve to be two spots on the losers. They deserve to be two spots.
I'll start off with the Raptors. That Brandon Ingram trade. I hate it.
I just want to say this quickly before you continue. Like, I saw a Knicks fan on Twitter saying they gave up all those firsts for Bridges, and the Raptors got Ingram like that. It's like the Knicks probably could have done that.
Big difference though. Ingram's a free agent after this year. And there's no shot. I mean, there's a possibility he resigns, but we don't know.
I wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want to go back to the Raptors, especially in that team. Shout out to Dylan in the chat.
Yeah, just about to say.
W Charlie hit feature. But for me, the Raptors are really just in gray space. It's kind of in tennis when you're in between the service line and the little T. You're just in no man's land.
Yeah.
And they just really have no future. I really like the young pieces they have, but then going out and trading for Brandon Ingram,
I miss quickly.
throws me off. Because are you trying to tank for a good pick this year, or are you trying to win? So it's because we all know Brandon Ingram is not going to tank. He's done with those days with the Lakers. Those are long gone. So that's just really my first loser. My first winner for the deadline, obviously the Lakers. My second loser.
Just say the Mavs at this point. Just get it over with.
I want to go with someone else though. I'm thinking.
I mean, obviously they're a loser, though, right?
I kind of want to go for a loser. I want to say the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies.
Okay.
We saw them try and get KD.
I don't hate it.
But I think they need one more piece to try and win and contend. Shout out to Jalen Wells. He's doing amazing in his rookie season, obviously. But I don't think having Jalen Wells as your starting small forward will let you have the capability to beat the Thunder team. That's just my opinion. My second winner, I'm going to take the Spurs. I really like that. Really like the move for them for Fox. Fox is going to be better run the league. It's going to be insane.
Shout out Chris Paul.
Come on.
Fox over.
Chris Paul.
Don't hate on Chris Paul. Don't hate on CP3.
I'm going to take the Bulls for my third loser. Just because they got 6 people in their backcourt now. And like no centers, really. I mean, they have Vucevic, but besides that, Jalen Smith, but they have more guards. They're very guard heavy, so I don't see their future. I saw Kenny, if you know, King of the Fourth Quarter, complaining about that one. And then my third winner, personally, has to be. I don't know if I want to say the Knicks though.
I mean, in your mind.
You're not allowed. I'm kidding you.
We're vetoing the Knicks. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like. Can I do a particular move? I'm going to do a particular move. You know what? I'm going to be Jonas Valanciunas. He's a winner. He gets sent from one of the worst teams in the league to a team that has potential to contend and get something done. He's also a beast. I wanted him on the Knicks.
Yeah, I know you love. We know you.
So, but yeah, those are my winners and losers. What about you, Hit?
So, 3 winners. Same ones as Jacob. Of course, the Lakers, establishing that core for the next decade. Number 2, the Spurs, same exact thing, establishing that young duo for the next decade. Number 3, the Cavs. Hopefully this move kind of solidifies that 5th starter spot. They have Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Jared Allen, and then the 5th spot has kind of rotated. I think DeAndre Hunter scoring north of 18 points a game could fit right into that small forward. So my three losers then. Number one, Charlotte Hornets. Because instead of having to trade for Mark Williams or trade Mark Williams to get Dalton Connect, they could have just drafted him at number 6, which is where a lot of people were projecting them, or were projecting Connect to land. So they could have had Dalton Connect and Mark Williams on this team and still made a run for Cooper Fleck because of the injuries to LaMelo and to Brandon Miller. And then my second loser, I'm gonna say the Kings. I really don't.
Even Jonas.
Yeah.
Like Jonas.
I don't like the direction that they're headed. I think this like, all right, let's bring in a couple stars past their prime thing hasn't really worked. And then staying along those lines is the Golden State Warriors. Good for them for going out and getting Jimmy Butler. Horrible for giving him $120 million over 2 years. It just that completely reverses the entire trade, in my opinion, and giving away Andrew Wiggins.
I was saying to that Luka trade though. So we've only seen one trade in NBA history get reversed or get
vetoed?
Unallowed, vetoed, and that's the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers. I really think this trade.
Why have I never heard of this before?
Got vetoed because the NBA was an owner of the Hornets at that time, technically. And like David Stern.
Bobcat days. Wait, are we saying old days?
No, like this one it was the Hornet.
Hornets,
New Orleans.
Oh.
And he got traded, but like the owner has to sign off on it. And David Stern, who was like the guy who ran the NBA,
Makes sense.
he didn't see it as fair. And since the Hornets didn't have an owner, and the NBA was their owner technically, he vetoed it. And I really think this Luka situation should have been a veto. But I feel like it would have been really awkward if that did get vetoed, especially since there were like rumors saying, too fat. Like trading, I really don't believe that this is why Luka got traded. I don't think it was because he's fat.
It's not part of the reason.
But he didn't look 270 at the Lakers press conference.
He didn't look 270, but he probably is 270.
But like,
He's
he
a little
also
bit
took him to the championship.
Do it.
He took him to the championship, so.
I'm completely disagree with the trade. Although he was a little bit, he's a little bit big for an NBA All-Star.
He could still drop 30 a night, so. At that point, it's
you
gotta do what you gotta do.
I think we agree on that.
I just want to get your guys' thoughts on this what if trade I saw. Like it was sort of in place, but the KD, there was a 3-team trade that had KD to the Warriors, Jimmy Butler to the Suns. But obviously it was not going to happen because KD didn't want to go back to Golden State. He didn't want to go back to the Warriors. Imagine if that happened.
I would have loved it.
Same.
As a fan, because we could have seen Curry and KD go up against Luka and LeBron. Like,
that would have been sick.
That would have been the best playoff series of all time.
Holy. Although they probably wouldn't play the playoffs.
True.
They would play in the playoffs, and that would definitely be the most entertaining matchup to watch of all time, in my opinion. So KD, not cool, bro. Ruining our fun. But he doesn't want to play with Draymond Green, so I don't blame him.
I wouldn't want to play with Draymond Green either.
Bro, the Suns were like they were talking about doing KD for Draymond on others too.
Yeah.
Those are other talks.
I saw that they were trying to actually move Draymond. So
I just feel like it was weird what the Wizards were doing. I know we talked about it earlier, but I just still am confused by it.
I understand it to us. They're tanking.
They gave away Kuzma and Valanciunas.
I think they buy out Middleton, send him to free agency.
Ben Simmons is currently getting bought out.
I think
he needs to get bought out.
Simmons to the Lakers, not to the Lakers.
To the Lakers is crazy.
Low-key.
I feel bad for Max. I just want to say I feel bad for Maxi Kleber also.
Shout out Maxi Kleber.
Oh wait, I was gonna say another loser.
He's a loser too.
I got a winner. Shout out Jalen Ojefino.
Yeah.
Bro was in reports more than he ever was before. So, shout out to him. He could say he was in the best trade of all time.
All right, one more loser, Anthony Davis. Because everybody in Dallas is gonna hate him because he got traded for Luka.
But it's not his fault. It's Nico Harrison's fault. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I didn't say the Mavs. I mean, although the Mavs are losers, but like Anthony Davis is a loser because he got traded from Los Angeles to Dallas, and he's gonna help the Mavs.
I mean, we honestly can't say that the
Harris.
Mavs are. We honestly can't say the Mavs are a loser because Kid didn't even know.
They're a
about it.
loser. They are a loser. They said they're prioritizing defense, and then they
Nico
went on to
Harrison
the
said
Cavaliers.
that. Nico
Then
Harrison
they went
said
on to let the Cavaliers score 50 points in one quarter.
Yeah.
But you're prioritizing defense.
I mean, yeah, like Anthony Davis is not gonna change. Like one player isn't gonna change your 50 points per quarter defense. I hate to say anything, Harrison, but that's pretty bad timing.
I think we could be a better GMs than Nico Harrison. Now his no LaMelo in the All-Star game. I know he's injured, so it really wouldn't have mattered. But before it, I'm a Knicks fan, and I think LaMelo should have been a starter over Brunson. I want to know what your thoughts are as someone who lives in Charlotte or in North Carolina.
All right. He doesn't play winning basketball. That's just kind of a fact. But you can say that about a lot of players. Back to your point, Gans, I 100% think he should have been in the All-Star game, and I think it's a little bit disrespectful to the fans to not have him in there because he was number one in fan voting. What does that tell you about how the NBA views that fan vote? People, the NBA is in the midst of its probably all-time worst viewership regression. And the guy who went number one in the fan vote doesn't even make the All-Star game. This is the guy that the people wanted to see.
100%. It's the little things at the end of the day. It's the little things. Trae Young got snubbed, but womp womp. Sorry, ain't nobody care about Trae Young. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, my bad.
So, after the trade deadline, NBA final predictions. I know I'm coming out of left field here with this question.
Gabby.
The Celtics still.
Against?
Versus.
Against. I don't even pay much attention to that. Let's see.
Saying this as a Knicks fan is kind of crazy. It's Celtics. But I
Okay.
like the honesty.
I don't know.
Hey, at least you can come to terms better than Nico Harrison. That's what matters today.
True.
That's
Out
what
of the West, I want to say the Thunder, but I know dang well that they're not. Again, who did they lose to last year? They lost to Nuggets right now.
No, they beat. I think they beat the Suns. They beat the Suns.
Did they lose to the Wolves?
Yeah.
Last night they beat the Suns 140 to 109.
No, I'm saying who they lose to in the playoffs.
Last year?
Yeah.
Or the Mavs?
Wait, probably.
No, I don't think so.
Probably the Mavs. While he's looking, shout out to the Portland Trailblazers. Hottest team in the NBA.
Oh yeah, it was the Mavs. Yeah, 4-2. Yeah. Okay.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Shout out the Blazers.
The Grizzlies are a sleeper team.
No, Jacob, come on. The Grizzlies are not making the finals.
Did I say they were? I said they were a sleeper team.
Yeah, but that's like saying the Islanders are a sleeper team. Exactly.
You know what? Why not? When Luka gets back, the Lakers are making a run, and we're gonna have the craziest NBA finals of all time.
I'll go next.
Celtics Lakers would feed families.
This is in my perfect world.
The
Knicks Lakers. In the perfect world, Knicks Lakers would go crazy.
The viewership on that.
In which potentially be Braun's last year.
He's not leaving. He's not leaving until he wins the championship.
Bronny James, game-winning 3, Game 7. But then it's blocked by Pacone Daddier. Like, whew.
What are you on, bro?
Shout out Pacone Daddier. Right there. I think if I want to go like realistic, I think the Knicks could do it. I'm putting the Knicks in the champ. I'm saying Knicks Lakers. Hey, give me the Knicks instead.
Okay. Okay,
you didn't know this kid was biased to the max. There it is.
I think
it's not biased to the max. next though? Because assuming OG's gonna be back healthy, the Knicks are getting back Mitch Rob. Precious has been balling, so I think it's possible.
All right, I'll let everybody kind of sit on that, and I'll keep going. I think this is pretty easy. I think it's the Celtics out of the East because the Knicks haven't proved that they can do jack diddly squat in the postseason. And the Celtics are 2-1, should be 3-0 if they didn't blow a 15-point fourth quarter lead against the number 1 seed in the conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are kind of having a Mickey Mouse run, in my opinion. So it's going to be Boston. Then out of the West, it's going to be OKC. It seems like this is OKC's year. You know, this is their time. This is what they've been building up to. They're 40-9. They just got Chet back. So, yeah, that's what I think.
That's fair. So, got our opinions on the NBA trade deadline. Sorry for the audio issues. First time doing the live
first
stream. But it's going to improve, we promise.
We'll figure it
Thank you.
We'll figure it out, yeah.
Thank you so much. Good luck with Tennessee in college basketball, even though St. John's will beat them.
Hey, quick before we get off speaking of Tennessee, I'm so we didn't get to the college football playoffs this time, guys.
Nope, so that's going to be it for today, folks.
Obviously, nobody wanted to get to it.
No college football today. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe.
Hold up. Before we leave, just gotta get the quick shout outs.
No, we're ending it.
Bro, we gotta give shout outs, bro. Shout out to the chat. Hold up.
Shout out to the chat, yes.
Keith Koza Jr. I'm not saying that guy's name. Shout out to Jerry Barnett. I don't know who you are, but yeah, we are out. Good thing across the river's back. Great thing across the river's back. Yeah, like and subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram
and TikTok.
Give 5 Media.
We don't even post
Follow
TikTok.
Charlie Hit.
Yeah. Shout out to David Sanders. Should have been a Buckeye, but it is what it is.
Shout out to David Sanders.
All right, we're out, guys. Peace out.
Yeah.